Hello, I'm Ambassador Herschel Walker. I have an important message for Americans visiting or living in the Bahamas. The beautiful waters here are one of the reasons people love to visit these islands. But I need to warn you about some serious dangers associated with renting jet skis and small watercrafts and swimming at beaches where jet skis and small watercrafts are being operated in shallow waters, particularly around Nassau and Paradise Island. We've lost America's lives to preventable accidents. Multiple visitors have been hospitalized. America have also been sexually assaulted by jet ski operators who take victims to isolated islands. Many watercrafts are unsafe and operators are unlicensed and uninsured. That's why U.S. government employees are banned from renting or riding jet skis.
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the show. My name is Brace Belden.
I'm producer Young Chomsky.
And this is the TrueAnon podcast. Once again, we have had a last-minute guest cancellation. Third time, I think.
But who's counting?
Who's counting? Not me. And, you know, it's been, usually I'd call up my co-host and say, what's your ideas? But I can't even remember if there ever was a co-host on this show sometimes.
It's all a little hazy.
I can't remember the last time I spoke to a woman. So last night, I drank 5 Celsius. That's a lie. I didn't do that. I'm afraid of Celsius.
What's that in Fahrenheit?
Actually, oh, come on. I'm moving past that. Last night, I had a freak out and decided to dip my wiggling little piggy toes back into some current events, survey the scene. There's a lot of news this week involving a lot of different things all over this world. I tried to get some of it, but you know what? This time, the third time that we've had this cancellation, they've been forced to do this, it's the shortest window to write an episode yet.
Well, you work best under pressure.
That's true, but it's not fun to do.
Yeah.
It actually sucks to work under pressure.
Well, but it's fun for them to listen to.
I guess. But I was up till 3 a.m. last night, not working. I worked until about midnight, but then I was up for another 3 hours trying to get myself to go to sleep so I could wake up and work some more. That did not work. Nevertheless, we are here. In this vulnerable state, I'm very open to new information. So what do? Just like some, a Brazilian or a Pole or something, I open the WhatsApp in the morning. See if one of my horrible distant cousins living back in the old country has messaged me asking me for money or something like that.
Any sort of foreign royalty.
Yes. But I belong to a number of what you might call Zionist group chats. I'm not actually sure what else you would call them. You would definitely call them that.
That seems like a neutral descriptor.
And this one is called Pens for Swords 23.
Wow.
And I was very excited because they released, and I look forward to this every week, the slogan of the week. Will you read this out for our listeners?
We're sharing this weekly effort, and we need everyone's participation. Here is this week's edition of Slogans of the Week, which we ask you all to circulate all over social media. Mass manipulation works by repetition. Let's expose their hypocrisy, hate, and lies. Please share this all your social media accounts. If you don't have social media, please forward to people who do. This only works as a team. Slogan coming at you in a minute.
And as you can imagine, edge of my seat, that nervous feeling that you have when you're going to throw up or you're going to shit your pants, you're going to go crazy. I was feeling things in my body that could have been solved only by high-dose Vicodin or propranolol. Finally, the next message comes in, and you will never believe this. I was prepared for a slogan, but instead I was given Well, a slogan, but really a stylized one. It's written in it's sort of, I would say, a meme format, perfect for sharing.
It's almost more of a treatise than a slogan. These whole thing, I was really trying to enunciate the way it's written, but it's really not written in a very speaking style.
No.
I don't imagine anyone on their side is doing these out
I don't know
loud.
if the whole part is the slogan or just the first or the second part. I feel like the second part is more slogan than the first. But
Yeah. Okay, so it says, Al-Aqsa Mosque is built on the ruins of 2 ancient Jewish temples. Who is the colonizer? When the math ain't mathing.
this is who we're up against?
When the math ain't mathing.
These people are who we're up against?
I wonder how many people had their pens aflutter to compose this one.
My God. When the math ain't mathing. Should I start talking like that? It's the slogan of the week, after all.
When the math ain't mathing.
When the math ain't mathing.
But you have to say the whole thing.
Al-Aqsa Mosque is built on the ruins of 2 ancient Jewish temples. Who is the colonizer? There's no answer to that question.
When the math ain't
When the
mathing.
math ain't mathing.
I imagine you approach someone as a duo, like an Abbott and Costello, and the one guy.
Or you have a plant in the audience.
Yes.
You have a plant in the audience at the 92nd Street Y?
Yeah, because the first 2 sentences are written in one color, and the third sentence rather is larger and a different color. So it's like, I don't know and it's in front of it's an image, text in an image, which is not good for accessibility.
No, certainly not.
In front of what appears to be a painted black brick wall.
Yeah.
Which I don't know what that is meant to.
That's the wall that these people want to put us up against and shoot. And I'd say that as a lifelong potential citizen of Israel. Respectfully, though, to my fellow Zionists, I have an alternative idea for a slogan. How about multimillionaire? How about 8 inches and thick? How about talented? How about loving and respectful? I lost my wife 10 weeks ago, 21 years faithful. Math ain't mathin'. My daughter committed suicide 3 weeks ago, 13. She was faster than me at 12, and I run a 6-minute mile. My testimony, I'm nothing but pure, and I ask you if you want to be on a YouTube channel and you like scrawny guys. That, dear Zionist group chat, I believe you should embrace that. That is what young people are thinking. Speed, sex.
Suicide.
Exactly. But that's too grim. That's too grim. I mean, his daughter, she killed it. It said yada, 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 yada. We don't want to talk about that anymore. We want to talk about something pleasant. We're talking about birthday parties. We love here at TrueAnon. We love birthday parties.
I have one most years.
I have one most years. I had a great one this year. It was one of the best birthday parties of last year. Best birthday parties of my life. And you are never too old to have a birthday party. I truly believe that. You don't have to celebrate yourself. It doesn't have to be some big thing. Oh, everybody, look at me. It can be a bit annoying to throw a party for yourself.
Yeah.
But really, you're throwing a party for other people, right? Mm-hmm. You're being like, you're essentially saying thank you for putting up with me for another year. And it's an excuse to get together. That's
true.
how I think of it.
Yeah.
You know, it's not some big celebration. What, everyone going to give a speech? No. It's you
get to give a speech at your birthday.
Yeah, I love all of you so much. Thank you so much for coming. It was just President Donald Trump's birthday 2 days ago.
Wow.
I know. He was born on June 14th, 1946, a day that will live in memory. He is 80 years old, just like the beautiful Cher, and he celebrated that 80th birthday at his amazing White House. His old friend Dana White set up a big UFC fight. Joe Rogan was there. Shane Gillis, Shane, we thought you were a communist. What are you doing here?
Disappointing.
Yeah, you can really tell a dum-dum by how invested they are in Shane Gillis's political beliefs. Who gives a fuck?
Not on my radar.
Even Tony Hinchcliffe. Yes, Tony Hinchcliffe was there. And politics aside, we love Tony Hinchcliffe's comedy. We love his comedy.
Kill Tony.
Not just kill Tony. You come in here as an interloper. You don't.
I'm a new gen.
You are. Don't pretend to relate to me about one of my passions, which is Tony Hinchcliffe's comedy. He just released a new special on Netflix.
And it's not Kill Tony. It's a
Kill
different...
Tony is his show that he does.
Okay.
Tony Hinchcliffe is the man that he is.
I see.
And his comedy special is that man telling some of what I assume are the best jokes written in the past 100 years. Remember when we saw him?
I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
I remember when you saw him.
Yeah,
I had so much FOMO.
It was amazing.
Yeah, he said that thing about Puerto Rico. And
Trash Island. We call that Puerto Rico.
that people were like, Trump is finished after this.
Yes. Yeah. This racism has finished off Donald Trump. I loved it. I was so glad that Tony got to enjoy himself at the White House. David Ellison was there, who I won't speak ill of because I do hope to get a job at the Free Press after this. Mark Zuckerberg was there. And that's pretty much it, unfortunately. Zuckerberg's a get, though. We love Zuckerberg. The presenting company of the fight, the UFC fight at the White House, was World Liberty Financial, owned by the families of Donald Trump and Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Witkoff. What does World Liberty Financial do? What do they make? Is the business profitable? And if so, what do they profit by doing? My advice to anybody asking themselves those questions is don't worry about it. I'm looking at their website right now. It says they're breaking barriers to the unbanked. What does it say?
Our mission is to unlock financial access for all by replacing the limits of traditional banking with open, on-chain infrastructure, and by creating a fairer system where opportunity isn't defined by location, status, or permission.
You know, when we first started doing this show, I had never encountered writing like this. Generally, in a normal person's life, if they're not engaged in like sort of scammy investments or something, you won't really run into something like this.
Well, calling it writing at all is a bit charitable.
Copy, let's say. Let's
that's
cut the writing part. It's just copy.
Yeah.
I technically understand what some of this means. I don't know what unlocking financial access for all by replacing the limits of traditional banking with open on-chain infrastructure means. I actually don't really understand that. I understand what they would tell me that means.
Yeah.
But what does that mean in practice? Gun to your head. Actually, no, not even gun to your head. Gun in your mouth, triggering a gag reflex. Around the gun, could you tell me what that means? You couldn't. It means nothing.
I mean, I would argue that looking through the lens of meaning is perhaps in apropos for this. It's like it's meant to point at something without actually meaning anything per se.
Yes, yeah. Well, I did get some meaning from the pictures on the website. Underneath that, there's some pictures of little brown children and little brown families with cell phones. There's actually even children sitting in the dirt in Africa.
Wow.
I tried to figure out what this means. I'm like, are children in Africa using World Liberty Financial? Are they unlocking banking or unlocking financial access by replacing the limits of traditional banking with open on-chain infrastructure? Is the blockchain obviously something that doesn't touch my own life very often, despite being, I would say, a fairly plugged-in member of modern American society? Perhaps it's big in Africa. You know what I mean? It's like certain bands are big in Japan.
Yeah, Sister Hillary.
Exactly. I don't think that is the case. Whatever. Trump pardoned multiple crypto guys. We all remember that. We've covered it on the show. CZ, yes, he pardoned him. And now CZ actually works with World Liberty Financial. Sure. But he was in trouble because the law was being weaponized, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, he's innocent. By pardoning him, he is able to help us in our mission of breaking barriers to the unbanked. Naysayers at the Wall Street Journal claim World Liberty Financial is a vehicle to get hundreds of millions of dollars from the UAE in a backdoor trade for advanced chips for AI data centers. All part of some impossibly corrupt, very complicated scheme. I would say probably not. I think this is a real company.
That seems unlikely.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't think that a company that has actually is bringing these kind of products to market needs to engage in that kind of backdoor shenaniganery.
No.
The Trump family has actually made over $1.5 billion from World Liberty Financial over the past year. Do you like that? I've always wondered, if you talk to Trump guys, what does that make you feel?
It's winning.
You kind of just have to say, I don't really care. Yeah, he's a little corrupt, but he gets it done or whatever. It's I don't know about all that.
Yeah, or I guess it's he's smart, so I look up to him. Or I'm going to do that one day.
He's a good businessman.
Yeah,
he's a good businessman.
Deals.
The values that many people I talk to, and this isn't just relegated only to Trump supporters, but many people I talk to are so intensely selfish and dishonest that sometimes I am amazed that we are all the same species. It is really something. Well, pie on my face, egg on my face, whatever, some kind of food all over my face, cum on my face. I'm wrong about World Liberty Financial. They're actually redistributing that money. UFC fighters at the White House were actually paid bonuses in USD1, which is World Liberty Financial's stable coin.
Oh,
It's amazing.
okay.
And I like the ads. I loved the ads. I don't watch UFC for the fighting. I don't watch it at all. I only watch it to see who's on the octagon, because that's how I know who's in the arena, as they say.
The logos are printed.
I love the logos. Same reason I watch car racing, same reason I watch TV. I want to see what ads are happening right now. We had some pretty good ones. We had Bud Light. Remember them?
They were trans?
They detransitioned.
Okay.
They detransitioned.
They're not trans anymore.
No. Now
Okay.
I think they're Shane Gillis now. But don't quote me on that. I don't know. Light beer is such a strange phenomenon because Americans seem addicted to drinking it, yet they're all fat.
I've never seen a thin person drinking Diet Coke.
I don't think I've ever seen a thin person in America. Polymarket was advertising there. Yes, we love Polymarket.
What you mean, the Park Slope Food Co-op?
Yep. Monster energy drinks there. Speaking of transgender, white Monster energy drinks. Regular Monster, that's the one for Mexicans. Starlink was on there. Stake Gambling was on there. I love it all. I love these companies. Calsheet. I don't know if I saw Calsheet, but we got a lot of Calsheet. I loved that.
They got Chalamet.
My Knicks in 4.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet. And then a fighter said, and this is back at the White House. A fighter said, Michelle Obama is a man. He went out. He said, Michelle Obama is a man.
Kind of reaching back into the catalog for that one.
It's a moron. I mean, you know, even Barack Obama is a man. There's no men in that family. I was actually supposed to go to this fight with sports journalist Pablo Journalish. That's, I guess, how I talk now. I relapsed.
Oh, it's similar to journalist.
Supposed to go to this fight with sports journalist Pablo Torre, but our press passes were denied.
We can't get your break on those.
Cannot catch. To this day, very few people have. The only people that have ever actually, I regret everything I've said about any of Trump's companies. The only people that ever actually issue me a press pass was Truth Social. And for that, I thank you. A press pass under the TrueAnon name.
A truth pass.
Yeah,
if you
truth
will.
pass. Everybody else says no. But it seems like they were not just denying me and Pablo entry. This is from Fox News today.
The FBI and its law enforcement partners disrupted an alleged plot targeting this weekend's UFC Freedom 250 event in Washington, D.C., officials told Fox News Digital. 5 people were in custody as of Monday, and investigators identified 23 people as part of a potential network of plotters. The alleged plan involved using explosive-laden drones to hit buildings near the event, force a mass evacuation, and steer crowds towards a pre-staged sniper team, officials said. A second wave was then allegedly planned to storm the White House gate, according to officials.
The FBI is saying that this plot came to their attention on June 10th.
Investigators later uncovered signal chats in which multiple people allegedly discussed attacking the UFC event. An initial review of one suspect's iPhone identified at least 23 signal users discussing pre-operational activity, officials said. Some of those involved allegedly planned to travel to Fredericksburg, Virginia on June 12th or 13th to prepare for the attack. One suspect allegedly told investigators the goal was to target, quote, capitalist elites, billionaires, or politicians who received donations from the American Israel Public Affairs Committee.
I mean, I don't know. It doesn't exactly pass the smell test for me. It does seem like perhaps something that a confidential informant set up. It's at very least a confidential informant was involved, or some kind of informant was involved in this. I don't know if a signal chat of people seemingly located all across these great 50 states is really the best way to organize a 2-pronged attack on the White House UFC event.
Sounds dramatic, though.
But there's no indictments out. There's nothing. I mean, this was just reported today. It is one of those things where if I was Kash Patel, I'd be like, oh, by the way, they were going to fucking kill you on your birthday. and I stopped them. So maybe don't fire me. He has really been trying not to lose his job lately, which is something that I can relate to.
Yeah.
My heart was racing reading this news, though, because obviously whenever I read about something like this, I like to play it out in my head. And I was just imagining watching footage from an FPV drone just taking out Tony Hinchcliffe. Or like even like a GoPro mounted on like a helmet and somebody just shooting Tony Hinchcliffe. And I was just like, my heart sped up and then my heart stopped. And it was like Hinchcliffe. And every single way that Tony Hinchcliffe could die was just in my head. And I was like, I had to just stop it. I had to have a fucking drink, which doesn't count as a relapse. One drink.
Yeah.
And Rogan, and then I thought, where the fuck is Jelly Roll? Is Jelly Roll in danger? Jelly Roll there? I mean, where is Jelly Roll right now? Jelly Roll, of course, the hippopotamic singer who loves to weep on podcasts, was not there, even though this is the kind of place he would usually be. And I thought this was quite odd. He could have lost his life at this event. If you don't know who Jelly Roll is, play a little Jelly. To feel my life slowly fade from the tips of my fingers and the tips of my toes, my blood pressure to lower, my heartbeat slower. Ooh, I'm a little jelly rolling, man, I'm rhyming. As I overdose on fentanyl to that song in my fucking truck. I would love that. Jelly Roll is our greatest American musician, and I was furious he was not at the White House, and I began to wonder, was he killed by the IRGC? So as I do every morning today, I Googled, where is Jelly Roll?
Yeah.
First thing, where is Jelly Roll? And I find out from TMZ of all places that he was filing for divorce from his beautiful wife, Bunny XO, I guess formerly Bunny Jelly Roll, or Bunny Roll, I guess she would be, after 10 years of marriage.
Well, that's sad.
I know. Bunny XO is some kind of sex worker or stripper thing. I don't really know. I don't know, but I do love her. She is a podcaster. And TMZ says court documents claim irreconcilable differences. Jelly Roll left her. He got on that damn Wegovy. He lost 275 pounds this past year.
Wow.
And he left his beautiful wife, who stayed with him despite numerous instances of infidelity. But I don't believe there is such a thing as irreconcilable differences.
You got to reconcile those differences.
A case in point, Iran and the United States of America have apparently signed a memorandum of understanding. Hostilities between these two great countries have ceased. The war in Iran, on Iran, near Iran, the war that was involving Iran is over. I'm so glad I'm finally going to sleep easy. I'll tell you, just like every other American, I have been awake all night, every night, worrying about attacks from Iran on the American homeland. We were going to bomb them the other night. Trump said on Truth Social, but then later on Truth Social, he said that we weren't going to bomb them because they were coming to the negotiating table. Now he says on Truth Social once again that we have stopped fighting Iran. A deal is being reached or has been reached, or both sides are negotiating, or a deal is on the table, or we got a deal a month ago. Nevertheless, all of these things are happening. There is reports that an MOU, a memorandum of understanding, was signed electronically on Sunday, and that the MOU is to be signed physically Which I'm like, do you really have to do it physically?
They don't use DocuSign or what?
Exactly. I think they did use DocuSign. I would be curious as to what program they used to sign it digitally. Is being signed physically on Friday in Geneva, Switzerland.
Okay. Representing
the U.S. will be World Liberty Financial Steve Witkoff, Jared Kushner, the son-in-law of Donald President Trump, and J.D. Vance, former employee of Peter Thiel, who I suspect, I'm not kidding about this, I suspect that he's going because his new stupid book about how he found his faith is out.
Communion.
I wonder if his heathen wife has read that. And I don't say that from a racist point of view.
Just by his own logic.
By his own standards.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe she'll have plenty of chances to read it, Usha, when you go to hell and your Christian husband is in heaven.
Yeah.
60 days after that. There's 60 days after that for negotiations between the two sides. And I got to tell you, if you're looking here for the play-by-play, everything, this is in the deal, this is in the deal, that's in the deal, we don't really know. We don't really know what's in the deal. We don't really know what's happening. The fact of the matter is the U.S. is one of the least trustworthy negotiating partners in human history, certainly at this point. I think everybody is learning this lesson over and over and over again. Not really sure what other choice the Iranians have, but in a sort of rare reversal, it does seem very much like Iran has come out on top here. And I just want to know, is the Iran war over? I believe it is. I'm coming out from the bomb shelter very soon. I saw that they killed the Ayatollah, like on those 1980s posters you can buy on eBay. His son is now the supreme leader, and the big psychological operation involving that was the New York Post putting out a story that the administration says he's gay. He's gay! It seems like you got bested by a gay guy. I don't know what to tell you. Happens to the best of us. Happens to, frankly, all of us at one time in our lives or another. That's a trifling detail. Now that there's a memorandum of understanding, which according to J.D. Vance is a page and a half long, Iran will never get a nuclear weapon. This is something that I can tell you every person in my life has been pushing for on a society-wide level.
Yeah.
This is something that affects every single American. This is what Trump had to say on Truth Social about it.
Barack Hussein Obama's deal with Iran, the JCPOA, was an easy, beautiful, smooth road to a nuclear weapon, which Iran would have had 6 years ago and would have used long before now. My agreement with Iran is the exact opposite. A wall to no nuclear weapon. In fact, they no longer want a nuclear weapon, nor will they have one, either through purchase, development, or any other form of procurement.
Okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. You know, I'm pretty sure that also what they said in the JCPOA.
Yeah.
And then you backed out of the deal unilaterally. Trump did. But why am I even saying this? Who gives a fuck? Anybody listening to this knows. All this shit is fucking fake. Trump is stupid. He lies all the fucking time. He thinks you're stupid. Everybody around him that isn't stupid thinks you're even stupider than the president is. And nobody falls for this shit. I mean, is anybody in your life that's not a hysterical freak in one of these fucking Zionist group chats with me afraid of Iran getting a nuclear weapon?
No.
If I go to a Jelly Roll concert and say, I am going to blow myself up unless all of you tell me that you're actually genuinely afraid, hold out your hand, let me see if it shakes, of Iran getting a nuclear weapon, will the answer be yes? Of course it won't. You only are afraid of Iran getting a nuclear weapon if you work for like the Foundation for Defense of Democracy or something. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. Nobody fucking, but what are they going to nuke? They're going to nuke Georgia? They're going to nuke Daytona Beach? They're going to nuke, what do places go? Well, the Gulf Coast. They're going to nuke the Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, it's just, okay, great. All this we're just doing the JCPOA again. Just doing that again. All right. One wonders, again, think about these nukes. I'm not sure if I feel safer now. I'm testing myself. I don't get a lot of sleep. And so I'm trying to be present in my body. I'm doing a body scan right now, realizing that I've had an erection for about the past 15 minutes.
That's okay.
Putting it down. There we go. It's back up again. I wish Barack Ravid was my roommate. And I could break every single roommate rule by sucking his cock while he babbles, deal. There's a deal coming. There's an incoming deal. Trump says there's going to be a deal. My sources say there's going to be a deal. I have been. Let me tell you this. Me and my Barack Ravid Telegram channel that I do, Barack Ravid.
Like a role play?
Sometimes I do sort of intimate that I'm friends with him and I'm getting information from him, but it's like for fans of him. Our Telegram channel has been a flutter basically since hostilities with Iran started because he is our guy. It's been incredible to follow his career. So I got a question. Has Trump been telling Axios reporter Barack Ravid that there's an incoming deal every few days in order to juice the markets? A lot of people are saying yes to that. People seem to think so. There's even a gossip column in Puck News about it. Usually reserved for sucking off Barry Weiss's... Well, I won't even describe what I think is going on down there.
Thank you.
I'll say it to you, but we can cut it.
No.
Okay. There's a gossip column in Puck News about how Barack Ravid is just... Everyone's sick of him.
Yeah.
Not me, though. I love him. I've become his biggest fan. And I wish, if only in my dreams, I know this will never happen. I'd have to move to DC for this to happen. But my dream is that Barack Ravid will let fly his Venus truncheon upon the insolent slit of my criminal mouth.
You need to give
he whispers me some secrets.
a trigger warning for sentences like that.
I don't know who to believe about this deal. Is this happening? Is this not happening? Is everybody in on this? Does nobody know about this? Both sides are saying different things. Iran is saying different things. The U.S. is saying different things. Everything's on the table. They're saying, oh, we're going to release $300 billion. Oh, but no, it's a Gulf fund. It's the GCC, which J.D. Vance called like the Gulf. He called it something crazy, and I can't really hate because sometimes I get acronyms wrong. But you're the vice president, for God's sake. He's saying all kinds of shit in the fucking morning shows. Are we going to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear bomb? Are we going to take any nuclear materials they already have? Trump, on Truth Social, says this about the nuclear dust.
At the appropriate time, when all is calm, we will go in and get the nuclear dust buried deep under the powerful sunken granite mountains, thanks to our beautiful B-2 bombers and their brilliant pilots, and downblend and destroy it, whether in Iran or the United States.
The dust under the mountain. I like the sound of that. The nuclear dust.
Poetic.
It is. We killed the supreme leader. We tried to foment some kind of uprising. It didn't really work out so great. We thought it might take out the regime. The regime proved to be a little more resilient than we were thinking. But now it's okay. We just need the dust.
The dust must flow.
Trump said this in a sort of moment of self-reflection. Parturient montes, nascitur ridiculus mus. Trump's classical education comes to the fore once again, even if he chooses to debase himself with the UFC and Tony Hinchcliffe. I'm just kidding. Hinchcliffe is, of course, one of the greatest poets of our time, a great truth teller, like all comedians are. People always say that about comedians.
They're speaking truth to power.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
And and what does that mean? Speak truth to power.
Yeah, I think they should be funny.
How about a comedian gets executed every now and then? We'll see what the stakes actually are.
Yeah.
Never happens. Trump's base is hurting, though. The Strait is closed. Strait of Hormuz is closed. We don't like that. We need oil to flow in and out like pump jacks. This is from Reuters yesterday. I think this sums it up.
The RV industry, which produces more than 80% of the rigs sold in the U.S. and northern Indiana, can often signal the direction of the nation's economy. Inflation-adjusted consumer outlays on recreational goods and vehicles fell in April for a fifth straight month, according to Commerce Department data, the longest slump in real spending on the category since the height of the Great Recession in 2008.
Not good. We need the Strait open right now. But never panicins. We'll never be panicins.
No.
Let's open Truth Social. Let's calm ourselves down. Drink a little bit of kava at the kava bar. Truth is open. Let's delight at what we see. First, Okay, featured ad. One weird loophole. This slashes your power bill by 87%.
Okay.
Then Trump.
Ships are starting to move, many loaded up with oil out of the Strait of Hormuz. They are going through the Southern Highway, which is totally safe, secure, and pristine. There are other areas of travel also. President DJT.
It is bookended. My viewing of Trump's Truth Social page is bookended. It's the same ad. It says featured ad, one simple trick to cut your electrical bill by 90%.
Oh, that's
it says
3 better.
It's incredible. And that is the Trump promise. But it was interesting. I looked at Trump's Truth Social. I've been working on writing something about Truth Social for a little bit. It's one of the strangest websites in the world. When I opened Trump's page, there was no Trump truths. It was just this ad repeating over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
That's an image of hands with a finger pointing at like disembodied electrical outlet cover.
The ring finger is pointing, which is even stranger.
Strange way.
Yes. And that, I think, is really, but we love him. We love him. We love Jelly Roll. We love Tony Hinchcliffe. We love President Donald Trump. We love Steve Witkoff. We love Jared Kushner. We love Truth Social. We love cutting our electrical bill by 90 or 87% utilizing this one simple trick.
You got to keep scrolling. You might get up to 93.
Exactly.
Who
We
knows?
might get up to 100. That's the promise of Truth Social. But okay. We like it. There's an MOU. There's a memorandum of understanding that's being signed. As of now, it's not really looking like the U.S. necessarily won this war. Not really sure what the goals of the war were, but it looks like we won them. Israel, though, is feeling a little left out.
Yeah.
Because they've been having a wonderful time in Lebanon, in Syria, and in Gaza, and they don't want the party to end. I want to talk about Lebanon for a second. Remember the ceasefire signed at the end of 2024? So Israel never actually abided by the ceasefire whatsoever. Like, it's actually, Lebanon will report to the UN all these violations every month. They did this, and this. But it's, in totality, it's like they fire like dozens of times a day. So it's not like breaking a ceasefire by like, oh, you blew up this truck like in 1 week or whatever. It's just you never ceased firing even for a second.
Yeah.
But Lebanon's so far away. It's very far away. It's so complicated. Everything is. That's why you never think about it. And civilians die. And yes, oftentimes civilians die quite horribly. There are multiple cases, videotaped even, of double and even triple taps on first responders. Okay, yes. They're hitting Beirut. Okay. They've killed almost 4,000 civilians since March of this year. All right, there's 10,000 wounded. Since March of this year. But you have to keep in mind, and this is something that a lot of people, obviously I've been a Zionist for about 2 hours now, and I've noticed that a lot of people are kind of like, they're squishy. They're becoming liberal Zionists on me. They're squishy. For me, if I'm AIPAC, they're becoming J Street.
Yeah.
Which is like the left-wing AIPAC.
Right.
Israel is holding back the invaders at the gates. That's something that you need to know. If Israel was not there, then Hezbollah would be, just thinking here in New York City, we'd have Hezbollah all the way up. They'd be at the you'd be trying to take your chick to the cloisters. Oh, I want to see a tapestry. She's going to love this shit. Hezbollah's there.
They'd be in the Hasidic tunnels.
Oh my God, they'd be in the Hasidic tunnel, and there'd be an underground war with the Hasids having to fight Hezbollah. They're tunnel snakes down there.
That's a good script idea.
Oh my God, and it'd be horrible if Israel was not attacking Lebanon right now. If Israel was not double tapping first responders. I saw a video yesterday where an Israeli quadcopter shot a guy like playing cards at a table in Gaza. If Israel wasn't doing stuff like that right now, I'm telling you, Hamas would be in Detroit. Mm-hmm. Hezbollah would be in, what is the most amazing place in the world?
Miami.
Miami? Deetjins? Hezbollah would be at Deetjins?
At what?
You need to take women on trips.
Okay.
I'm telling you, they love to go to Deetjins. Every place you want to take your girl, Hezbollah is there.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Israel mercilessly slaughtering people in Lebanon, Syria, and Gaza. This is a defense of Western civilization that they're undertaking. They're literally doing that thing where they're holding the shield. They're shielding all of us sleeping here in the West because we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. We're home safe. I saw a video of Tommy Robinson the other day, and he was saying that if Israel falls, the Islamists will come here and they'll take our wives.
Take my wife, please.
Yeah, have at it. Spoken like an unmarried man. This is a concept, Western civilization. I've been trying to wonder what it is, and it seems to be like whatever unites Donald Trump, Emmanuel Macron, Mohammed bin Salman, Benjamin Netanyahu, and Keir Starmer.
McDonald's.
I'm pretty sure that, it's McDonald's, it's Labubu, it's Dubai chocolate. These are all Western civilization. Smoke shop, vape shop. We love it. But let's take for a moment, maybe Israel's incursion in Lebanon isn't very popular. Even Trump actually upbraided Netanyahu at the G7. This was, I believe, earlier today.
Israel's fighting Hezbollah too long and too many people are being killed. And you don't have to knock down an apartment house every time you're looking for somebody. Because there are a lot of people in those apartment houses. And they're not all Hezbollah, that I can tell you. And I suggested to Israel to let Syria take care of Hezbollah. Because to be honest with you, I think they do a better job of doing it. And I didn't like Syria. I didn't like where 2 hours before we're signing the agreement that there was an attack in Lebanon, in Beirut. It wasn't like in the southern side, and it was in Beirut. I did not like that. I let them know that. I didn't like it, not at all. But I think that Syria, he's pulled that country together amazingly quickly. He's very capable, and he's been very good for me. He's protected everything that I've asked for. He's done. And if Israel can't do the job without killing everyone else, he'll do the job. Syria will do the job.
Strong words.
A team of rivals that Donald Trump here is putting together. But it's notable. First of all, people are like, oh, he's talking about how they blow up apartment buildings. That's so fucked up. Famously, Israel frequently blows up apartment buildings. I mean, they destroyed all of Gaza. Obviously, Trump didn't really give a shit about that when he was posting the Trump Gaza videos and is taking charge of rebuilding it alongside FIFA on the Board of Peace, Board of Peace.
Yeah.
But we also have to, getting ahead of myself, we have to stop the presses because whatever's going to happen here, if Israel is still attacking Lebanon during this negotiation or post-signing of this MOU, which was apparently signed on Sunday, I guess that was a fake signature. It's really going to get signed on Friday. The MOU had not leaked as of when I was putting these notes together. I'm sure it will leak and can be confirmed leaked in full by the time this comes out. But there is text that is going around, and I can't say for sure that it is the exact text. So I don't know. Take this with a grain of salt. Iran has been telling, or Iran's news agency has been putting out, that part of the MOU says that allied countries to the U.S. have to cease fire as well. That would obviously be referring to Israel's actions in Lebanon. This is the apparent leaked first part of the memorandum.
The Islamic Republic of Iran and the United States, together with their allies in the current war, declare upon the signing of this Memorandum of Understanding an immediate and permanent end to the war on all fronts, including Lebanon, and undertake that from now on they will not launch any hostile action against each other and will refrain from the threat or use of force against each other.
Well, I'm sure that Benjamin Netanyahu will see that and say, well, okay, that includes us as well. But he, unfortunately, is distancing himself in the pages of the New York Times.
Even as he distanced himself from the U.S. deal, the Prime Minister framed the war against Iran as a victory for Israel. If Israel and the United States had not acted, he said, quote, Iran would already have atomic bombs, unquote, and the Israelis would be in, quote, terrible danger of mass death, unquote. But he struck a different tone about the deal that was agreed to this week. Quote, this agreement was made by the United States, by the President of the United States, Mr. Netanyahu said. That's his decision, he said, and repeated the statement for emphasis. He added, we have our own interests.
So, I have a feeling, a sneaking assumption, that Benjamin Netanyahu will say that this deal was signed by the United States and Iran and does not concern Israel. They will keep up attacking Lebanon. They will keep double tapping first responders there. They will keep blowing up apartment buildings. And people are saying, oh, this could cause a rift between Trump and Netanyahu. Well, I could see something like that happen. It does seem like that many Israelis are very unhappy with Trump. And you never know what's going to happen with Trump. That's something that everybody should get through their heads. You never know what's going to happen with Trump. You can't really use regular analysis on it. You can a little bit, but you can't be so dogmatic about it. But I think that Israel will keep attacking Lebanon in order to provoke a response from Iran, in order to draw the United States back into the conflict. I don't think that this is like, I'm not trying to do some 4D chess here, but like this seems like a pretty obvious move that they do. They have still, as of, again, the time this is going to press, Tuesday, 3:16 in the afternoon, June 16th, Israel is still attacking Lebanon.
Mm-hmm.
The deal, the rumors of the deal, the MOU rumors have sparked a great upheaval in the pro-Trump Zionist crowd. Mark Levin, who is a fellow broadcaster, meaning one of our coworkers, had this to say on Twitter.
The former al-Qaeda terrorist who now runs Syria and has been slaughtering Christians is preferred to deal with Hezbollah in Lebanon. Just now, Iran said no deal unless Israel leaves southern Lebanon, so they got the message. Of course, Lebanon has said Iran doesn't call the shots in Lebanon and is trying to drag them into a deal to protect Hezbollah. Yep. Meanwhile, none of us have seen the MOU. Israel says it has not seen the MOU. Qatar, Pakistan, and Iran have seen it and helped negotiate it. Thoughts?
This is from Guy Azriel, international correspondent for I-24.
I can now confirm that Israel formally requested access to the Iran MOU and was denied. A remarkable and highly unusual development between close allies on an issue of such critical national security importance.
From Laura Loomer.
We are on track to becoming an Islamic country. Sad to see.
And from Foundation for Defense of Democracy's Mark Dubowitz.
Refuel energy markets, rest and rearm the military, develop a plan to support Iranians to cripple the regime, enforce sanctions with relentless pressure. Don't get played at the negotiating table. Test Tehran early. Give little, demand results, walk away fast, hit harder.
Thank you for that, Mark. I mean, what are we supposed to say? You know?
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, it's like, okay. No. That's not, don't do that.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of these fucking people. It was amazing, though. Netanyahu was riding so high. He was doing so well. He had fought all these wars, 6, 7, 8 fronts, 9 fronts, 10 fronts, 1 million fronts. He was doing so well on it. And then he's undercut by his ally, Trump. But we'll see how this plays out. Maybe this is all some 4D chess. Remember, these are two very crafty statesmen. Itamar Ben-Gvir, part of the Israeli government, had this to say on Twitter.
My position is clear. We are not partners to this agreement that does not ensure our security, and it does not bind us in any way. We must not compromise on anything less than the dismantling of Hezbollah. We must not withdraw from any territory that our fighters have captured and cleared of terror infrastructure. We must not return to a situation where thousands of terrorists sit on the fences of northern settlements. And certainly we must not remain silent for a moment in the face of fire directed at the state of Israel. We must make it clear, every launch of a drone, UAV, or missile towards Israel from Lebanon will lead to an Israeli strike in Dahiyah. That was the deterrence balance just a few months ago, and we must not give it up in any way. And above all, we must make it clear to everyone, the people of Israel is a people of 3,000 years, the eternal people that does not fear a long road. We have faith in the creator of the universe. We are a strong and proud people that return to its homeland strong and proud, and does not intend to lower its gaze before enemies anymore. The days are over when the Jew took blows and kept silent. Never again.
Never again!
It's so goofy when these Israeli dudes always try to get all fucking poetic and like, you know, this like warrior
We're
poet
not
bullshit.
Jews on trembling knees.
Yeah, give me a fucking
We're not
break.
Jews on trembling knees. Well, speaking of birthdays, we've left Trump's behind. We've left the White House. We've left Jelly Roll. We've left the MOU. Is there going to be peace between The U.S. and Iran? God, I hope so. Peace on earth at last. I don't think that Israel will fuck this up. It is a nation. It's a democratic country. They're just like us. It could be the 51st state.
They got gay people.
They got gay people. Let me tell you this. They got homos there.
Yeah.
And I've been a conservative my whole fucking life.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't fuck with that shit. But it's awesome they have it there.
And it's Pride Month, so we have to like Israel even more.
Oh my God. Pride. And they got the Tel Aviv Pride Parade is not to be missed.
No.
You hear that, Iran? Speaking of birthdays, National Security Minister of Israel, that very same Itamar Ben-Gvir, held a birthday party on the occasion of his 50th birthday last month. What a joyous occasion. There was some reporting on it, some party reporting, and this is from the Times of Israel.
A series of senior police officers and top politicians were seen arriving at the party. Among the far-right figures were Yoav Eliassi, the rapper known as The Shadow, who received an honorary police rank in 2024, Communications Minister Shlomo Kari, and Bentzi Gopstein, an acolyte of late extremist Rabbi Meir Kahan, who runs a group opposing intermarriage.
Well, I like to hear that. A rapper known as The Shadow? So I looked this guy up a little bit. That's cool.
Cool name.
You know what I mean? What a badass. And Hebrew is such a mellifluous sort of sonorous thing to listen to. I would really like to hear rap in it. This is from an article about him in The Guardian 2016.
Yoav Eliassi, known as The Shadow, has called, among other things, for paramedics to harvest the organs of Palestinians killed in attacks on Jews, and helped organize a rally in support of an Israeli soldier on trial for executing a wounded Palestinian. During the 2014 Gaza war, he organized a violent counter-demonstration in response to a left-wing anti-war protest, mobilizing a group of hardline followers he dubbed the Shadow's Lions to fight, quote, the real enemy among us, the radical left, unquote. Speaking after joining the party, Eliassi said he would draft his Lions into a Likud Guard.
Okay. I mean, I don't know. You know, these guys are our allies. I like them. We're not so different than them. And we really aren't. You know, you think about this, all these sort of MAGA rapper kind of guys who are also YouTubers, who are also, you know, who are very connected to the government. You think, okay, maybe we are quite similar to them.
Yeah, they're spiritually American.
Very much so. The spiritually Israeli thing is a way for people to displace their shittiness of their own country.
It seems like that's fallen off.
I know. It's there's a bit of a Gen Z-ification of a little bit of stuff. No disrespect. You know, I'm Gen Z, but it's sometimes it's like, come on, guys. Your enemy is also at home. I really wanted to give Israeli rap a chance. But The Shadow raps mostly in Hebrew. I wanted to hear something in English. And I want to play as much of this as possible for you right now.
Hey Jew, they hate you. No matter what you say, no matter what you'll do, they'll hate it and dress it up as something sophisticated. They'll call it war crimes or Palestine or the IDF. They'll say that we control the banks and the US government. We turn Christian babies into matzah bread. They'll make those lies sound like facts when in fact, they just hate you. Ever noticed? No slur for Jews, no N-word, no F-word, and there's a curse for every group. But for us, it's just Jew. Say it with the right tone, and it's a curse. Here, I'll show you in this verse. Hey Jew.
I beg to differ on that one.
Have you ever heard of the word kike? Are you there? We have an N-word.
Also, what's he have against Hey Jude? That's a great song.
Hey Jude. But we have a slur.
Yeah.
It's kike.
Yeah.
And Heb a little bit, but that's some Heb is my view on Heb is this.
Yeah.
That's like something from like 1970s, like KKK newspapers kind of thing. Because it's not really very.
All of them they have a bit of an old-timey feel.
Well, kike sounds Yiddish.
Yeah.
I think
it is Yiddish.
Yeah. But Heb is very old-timey. It's like, okay, buddy.
Yeah,
you know, like if someone called me a Heb, I'd be like,
Yid.
Oh, pop on the knickerbockers. You know, it's, come on, give me a break there. Yid is another one. It's like, if someone is saying Yid, it's like, you're like, you play too much Hearts of Iron 4 or something. You know
it's like
I mean?
a hater is another type of fan.
Exactly. But like, that's just some shit. That's like old-timey kind of shit. The reality is nobody has one as good. Not as good. Not as good. But like the N-word is really like the big one.
Yeah.
Nobody else really has one. The Mexican one isn't pleasant. There's a couple Mexican ones that aren't pleasant, but I don't think they get the N-word level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's just like historically, it's not the same.
Yeah.
I mean, if like the Nazis had won the war, then they'd probably have one.
Yeah.
That had some more power to it.
Yeah. Buildings. I love rap and I love conscious hip hop. As everybody knows, I made my first million as a conscious rapper in the mid 2000s.
They call you Backpack Belden.
I backpack Belden. And you know what's in there? It's a gun. And yes, I'm taking it to school. But I'm just like, this is I've said before that I think that Zionism cursed the Jews by making it severed our connection with God. We were meant to be in the diaspora.
Yeah.
This I think is proof positive of that.
I try to step back and ask myself, like, just objectively, divorced from anything else, would I find the Israeli accent that fucking annoying? And it's really hard not to say yes. Like it's just, I don't know if it's like literally the pronunciation or the tone of the way that guy talks, but just like the first word, I'm like, shut this off. Like, this is painful.
Yes. I think that I've thought about this too. Divorced from any of my feelings about Israel. Would I find it obnoxious?
Yeah.
And it's hard to say because many of the times I hear Israeli accent speaking is in English, like complaining.
Yeah.
And so it's difficult. And so like if I only ever heard like, I don't know, like Indian guys complaining in an Indian accent, because I kind of like the Indian accent. I'm not going to do it. I can do a pretty good one. I'm not going to do it. I kind of like the Indian accent speaking English.
Yeah.
The Israeli accent sort of stands out as like every time they're like, but I can't even do it.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a combination of so many other accents that like, and it's really like lesser. It's tough.
Yeah, but it's just like, it's this complaining, but from this position of like...
arrogance.
Yes.
There's an arrogance to it that I really dislike.
I wish the worst thing I could say about Israelis is that they're fucking annoying, but like they
Yeah.
are legitimately like separate from anything else.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that there's some, that are maybe okay. But Israelis are so fucking annoying.
I'm sure that some are good people.
Yeah.
But back to, we're out here. What are we doing? We're out here in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ben-Gvir's party. We need to go back to Israel. We need to go to this fucking party. Keep reading. This is from, again, Times of Israel.
Among the commanders who arrived at the party in Emunim were Jerusalem District Commander Avshalom Peled, who is expected to leave the police after completing his term, Judea and Samaria District Commander Moshe Pinchi, Prison Service Commissioner Kobi Yaakobi, Superintendent Sami Marciano, Ben-Gvir's Security Secretary, Central District Commander Amir Cohen, and others.
Semi Marciano. This is Semi Marciano, my security secretary. I was like, well, who are these guys, right? Like, listen, I don't know. I'm one guy. I do this podcast. I can't know every fucking Shlomo hanging around Ben-Gvir's birthday party. But I said, this seemed like a colorful bunch. It is, I've always said, since I got into Zionism about an hour ago, I've always said that the government of Benjamin Netanyahu does not represent Israel, even though it has represented Israel for like most of my life.
Yeah, the government is not the people.
It's not the people or the clear majority of people who do vote for the government.
That's not the people.
That doesn't represent the people either. There's some other ineffable kind of thing that represents the people. It's a liberal Zionist guy that I made up in my mind.
Yeah.
That represents the people. So I looked into some of these guys. I thought, okay, I like the police. If there's two things that I like, it's the police and Israelis.
Hug the police.
Put those together, we're rocking, right? I looked up Avshalom Peled, police chief of Jerusalem. It turns out this guy has been under investigation for corruption of one kind or another. So I'm saying multiple corruption investigations for over a decade.
Well, who among us?
Who among us? 2 weeks after his appointment by Ben-Gvir, worshippers stopped being prevented from praying at the Temple Mount. The Temple Mount. This reminds me of my Zionist group chat. I mean, the Al-Aqsa Mosque, right? That mosque that's there What was it that the group chat said?
The math ain't mathing.
The math ain't mathing. So obviously, as listeners to the show will know, and we're not talking about the whole red heifer thing here either, but it's just adjacent to it. There is quite a bit of tension around, let's say, ultra-religious members of Israel's right wing praying at Al-Aqsa Mosque, doing Jewish prayers there. They're allowed to visit, but they're not supposed to pray there. This is sort of this is actually one of the things that kicked off October 7th. Is impending, basically, rumors that Israel was going to essentially fully annex the mosque. This has been basically allowed to just happen more and more and more and more. And I think that within a few years, it'll be kind of the status quo that you can just go pray there. Police are told, and this is something that is a through line with basically all of the members of the Israeli gendarmerie that were present at this party, and really in general, is that these things are technically not supposed to happen, but now, in recent years, they've always happened, and the Israeli police have looked the other way, but now they're just fully allowed to happen, and they actually happen with police protection, right? They're trying to provoke the Palestinians.
Yeah.
This is something that, the whole Jerusalem Flag Day march, all this shit, it's trying to provoke the Palestinians. So, West Bank police commander Moshe Pinchy, the guy we're talking about here, he was Ben-Gvir's security secretary previously. He was actually promoted to major general and then set to oversee the West Bank. This is a quote from Haaretz from him.
This is a wonderful region, and the police have a role here no less vital than that of IDF soldiers, Pinchy said. We work jointly with the army to protect the settlements, and I've made settlement protection the district's top priority, ahead of law enforcement and maintaining order.
What a wonderful quote. I've made settlement protection the district's top priority, ahead of law enforcement and maintaining order. We can tell, it's there have basically been pogroms in the West Bank ever since the West Bank has been the West Bank, and done by Jewish settlers. And now, you see it's laid out in black and white. And this is the thing. The current regime is not so different than the other ones. It is a little different. I'm not going to say that the other ones were good, but it is a little different. But it's also just much more honest. Settlement protection is the district's top priority, ahead of law enforcement and maintaining order. One would think that the police's main job has definitely got to be law enforcement.
Yeah.
Second after that, probably maintaining order, right? And then everything kind of follows from that. But no, he is saying explicitly here that the role of the police in the West Bank is to help settlers. What do settlers do?
Settle.
They settle. They attack livestock of Palestinians. They burn olive trees. They commit pogroms. They kill people. The role of the police is to protect that.
Yeah.
Do you remember the rape riots of 2024 in Israel?
Of course.
So when 10 soldiers were detained on suspicion of raping a Palestinian detainee from Gaza, dozens of protesters associated with the ruling coalition appeared outside of army bases with backing from lawmakers, including many of those at Ben-Gvir's birthday party. This is from the New York Times.
Several ministers and right-wing lawmakers backed the protesters, and in some cases suggested the need to punish Hamas superseded the military's need for accountability. In Parliament, a lawmaker from Mr. Netanyahu's party, Hanoch Milwidsky, was asked whether it was acceptable to sexually abuse a detainee. Yes, he replied. If he is Nukhba, he added, referring to the Hamas commando unit. Everything is legitimate to do. Everything.
Pinchy was the one who ordered police not to use force to disperse the protesters. And it's really interesting because I think in other countries, you'd see a lot of split opinion over this. But I'm pretty sure the only person who actually got in trouble from this entire affair was the woman that leaked the video of this happening. I don't think any of the people who were involved in the rape did. Mordecai David was at the party. Let's say Mordecai David was at the party. He is sort of like a mixture between Nick Shirley, Project Veritas, and Ernst Rome. He has this entire well-funded operation. He pays people to go to any sort of left-wing or peacenik meeting or demonstration and report on it. His big thing has been filming himself getting into the face of Israel's judiciary and blocking their cars. This is a depiction of him doing so to a former Supreme Court judge that Netanyahu had tapped to represent Israel in The Hague. This is from the Times of Israel.
David opened the door to Aharon Barak's car and filmed himself calling the 89-year-old the Khamenei of our generation, referring to Iran's supreme leader. Lucky for us, his generation has passed. We are the new generation, the generation of the messianic age, David said in the recording.
Interesting.
Wow.
I mean, these people are insane.
Yeah.
Right? Ben-Gvir was at the party. He was a disciple of Meir Kahan and suspected in the murder of a Palestinian couple. He lives in an illegal settlement. He is a huge supporter of Baruch Goldstein, the Israeli mass shooter who murdered dozens of Palestinians in the Cave of the Patriarchs massacre. He calls Christians vampires and wants them to be expelled alongside Muslims from Israel.
Oh, that's something new.
Yeah. In 2015, a group of Israeli youth under the supposed command of Kahan's grandson, Meir Etner, snuck into the Palestinian village of Duma and burned a family to death by breaking their windows and throwing Molotov cocktails. The family's baby, an 18-month-old named Ali Dawabsha, was burned to death immediately. His parents suffered horrific burns and died weeks later in the hospital. It's a long story, but eventually only one man was convicted of his role in deliberately burning this sleeping family to death. Amiran Ben-Gvir. The case was controversial in Israel due to the interrogation methods used on him. Ben-Gvir was one of his lawyers on the case, and in 2015, the year of the attack, he was with Bentzi Gopstein at a wedding when participants stabbed a photo of baby Ali Dawabsha and then burned it. So, to reiterate there, about a decade ago, settlers burned a sleeping Palestinian family to death. That same year, their lawyer, who is now in the government of Israel, not in any other government, in the government of Israel, was partying with his friends and they stabbed a photo of the baby that their friend and client killed and then burned the picture. Also at the party was Kobi Yacobi, Ben-Gvir's former security man and the current head of Israel's prison system. This is from Haaretz.
The sources said that National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir's chief of staff, Hanamel Dorfman, also went to Ayalon prison to visit Amiram Ben Uliel. The Israeli prison service denied the reports of the visits.
Remember, Amiram Ben Uliel is the person who actually was arrested and convicted of killing this family.
It is unusual for a prison service head to visit a security prisoner, but even before the appointment earlier this year, Yacobi acted to improve Ben Uliel's incarceration conditions. In recent months, pressure from Ben-Gvir and Yacobi resulted in a number of privileges for Ben Uliel. These include emotional support phone calls with religious Zionist rabbis, such as Dov Lior, a leader of the far-right stream and Ben-Gvir's rabbi. He has also received books, personal supplies, ritual articles, and clothes for religious holidays. In addition, Ben Uliel also participates in regular Torah lessons and receives family visits.
So if you are a Palestinian who the Israelis want to pick up and arrest for no reason at all, no problem. They'll take you to prison, they'll torture you, and they'll rape you on camera and then go free. If you burn a family to death and are convicted of it, but you're Israeli, the head of the prison system will work to make your life better. That head of the prison system, Kobi Yacobi, is expected to be indicted for corruption in the coming weeks, but this has been expected for months now. I don't know if this is actually going to happen. And that can be said for basically everybody at this party. Not only are they like far right, oftentimes some of these people who actually themselves genuine, real, not speaking in like this, oh, he's a war criminal kind of thing, literal murderers who pulled trigger and killed civilians. Yeah. That's all of them. So addressing a fundraiser for Amiram Ben Uliel in 2023, Israeli nuclear spy Jonathan Pollard said,
Amiram and I have many things in common, as well as significant differences, Pollard continued. The similarity begins with the fact that we both love the land and the people of Israel, and that this got us both into trouble.
So Jonathan Pollard obviously was the spy for Israel and the U.S. nuclear program that is sort of a cause celeb on the Israeli, I guess, the broad Zionist movement. In 2025, David Milstein, Mark Levin's nephew, I said that kind of weird, but the nephew of Mark Levin, David Milstein, who works at the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, organized a meeting between Jonathan Pollard and U.S. Ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee. This was kept off of Mike Huckabee's schedule publicly. I mean, what do you like? There must be some other Israel I'm missing here. You know what I mean? There must be a different one that's happening somewhere else. Some other, it's in Tel Aviv. You're thinking of Jerusalem. It's so conservative. Tel Aviv is so liberal. It's cool. It's like Brooklyn. It's crazy to me that people still fall for this shit. Jacoby, again, the head of the prison system, has been inspected to face an indictment for illegally informing a senior West Bank police officer about an investigation into that police officer. That cop, Avishai Mualim, was being investigated over highly credible accusations that he had allowed and helped settler violence to grow unabated. This is also part of a war that's too much to get into between Shin Bet and sections of the police that are loyal to Ben-Gvir. Not saying Shin Bet's the good guys here. I'm just saying that is kind of, there is a deep state war that's happening there. In February, this February of this year, Kobe Jacoby took people from his synagogue, which is located in, you guessed it, an illegal settlement in East Jerusalem, to look at bound Palestinian prisoners in a prison. His rabbi, according to Channel 12 News, hardly a very liberal news source, Channel 12 News in Israel gave a sermon. The company that built much of the illegal settlement that these people live in advertises and is available to build with at the Great Israel Real Estate Event. These are held in synagogues. One recently came to New York and was protected by the NYPD. Governor Kathy Hochul has passed a law establishing buffer zones outside of religious institutions. I believe so is the New York City Council. They want to pass these nationwide. Now, there are not a lot of protests that happen outside of religious institutions in the U.S. Sometimes there'll be like a few nuts here or there. There's some shit in Texas that happens. But this is so clearly targeted at the protests, specifically here in New York City and in New Jersey, about the protests outside of these Great Israel real estate conferences.
Well, because those are anti-Semites.
Yes. But I'm saying, like, these are companies that break international law. Right. Oftentimes there's settlements available. I think, I can't remember who, and so forgive me I can't remember who, but some people just went into the one in London and taped, and there's illegal settlements that are for sale in there. You also have to be Jewish to get in. You have to say what synagogue you're in. They which is obviously illegal. Mm-hmm. It's just, we're supposed to pretend every time there's a protest outside of one of these, you have every fucking stupid cocksucking politician line up and say, this is never okay to protest outside a house of worship.
Right. Anti-Semitism is on the rise.
Exactly.
There's zero tolerance for this.
I mean, one is reminded of sort of Marx's writings on some of the Jews, is that this is a house of worship. The God here is money. You know what I mean? The God here it's not God. It's not Hashem. It's money. And it's in these people's case, it's money and blood. 14 people were arrested for protesting these land sales in London last weekend. And again, these are land sales that break international law. But why not get into a more cheerful mood? That got a little too dour, right?
Yeah.
Got a little too dour. Let's get in a more cheerful mood. We're going to go back to Ben-Gvir's birthday party. He's a jolly guy. We like looking at him. We like hanging out with him. We love his birthday party. We may not support everything Benjamin Netanyahu does or says. Okay, that's true. But he's not Israel. He's just the guy that's been leading it again for most of my life.
Right.
The IDF is a noble institution. It was founded by Holocaust survivors.
It's the most moral army in the world.
The most moral army in the world. It is the most moral. Who's the second most?
I don't know. I'd have to attend the Moral Army.
I feel like it's in the moral army. Yeah. They should do a most moral army competition.
What events would they competing in to see who's most moral?
Honeypot competition, obviously.
Well, I imagine them asking, like, how do you, these two women both say they're the mother of this baby.
yeah, exactly. No, you just have to make Sophie's choices.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again. I would say the second most moral armies in the world are those guys who fight between India and China with sticks on the border.
That would be such a good reality TV show.
What?
Like Tyra Banks just being like, you are the next most moral army.
It would also be a really good if they should also maybe let us bet on those fights between the border wars between China and India.
Well, they will.
Defense Minister Israel Katz was at the party. Thank God. Again, this isn't. People always say, "Oh, you pick out Ben-Gvir. Oh, this guy is so." He's not actually representative of the government that he's a member of. Mm-hmm. No, guys like Israel Katz though are. We love Israel Katz. He's the defense minister. We fuck with them. This is from France 24 from yesterday, June 15th.
In the first official Israeli comments after the announcement of the deal, Defense Minister Israel Katz said Israel won't withdraw from lands seized in Lebanon as the interim deal is pending. Katz said Israel plans to stay indefinitely in lands it holds in Lebanon, as well as Syria and the Gaza Strip. Iran has tied the interim deal over the war to halting Israel's attacks on Hezbollah in Lebanon. Katz also threatened that if Iran attacks Israel over Israeli strikes in Lebanon, Israel will strike Iran with, quote, great force. Over the past 2.5 years, Israel has taken control of areas in Gaza, Lebanon, and Syria, amounting to 1,000 square kilometers, 386 square miles of territory, an area that is slightly smaller than New York City.
We love New York City. We love New York City. Let's leave Ben-Gvir's birthday party just for a moment, arm in arm with one of the guests, and visit that magical place. The guest in question, Amir Ohana, the Knesset speaker, who will accompany us on our journey to the Big Apple. Surely if we can travel such great distances so easily, we can also transcend time like it's nothing. So let us go back a couple of weeks to May 31st. On May 31st, the Israel Day Parade was held here in New York City.
Of course, Israel Day, my favorite.
Every day. Oh, what am I going to get this year? Dad, I want a Merkava. The Israel Day Parade. No, it's just celebrating Jewish New Yorkers, of course. It's held here in New York City. I was unfortunately out of town. I never miss it, but I did this year. Mm-hmm. No.
Somebody asked me on Israel Day why I wasn't at the parade.
Is that true?
Yes. Because it was a guy, I was at the beach and he saw my Star of David necklace. He's like, why aren't you at the Israel Day parade? And I was like, I'm not much of an Israel guy.
Yeah. It was Finkelstein doing his run.
Yeah. I was like, no, I'd rather be here,
Mayor Mamdani did not attend. And this was big news. It was everywhere. It was, he's not attending the parade. But buck up, because Jessica Tisch, Mayor Mamdani's police commissioner, served as the Grand Marshal of the parade.
And the Grand Wizard.
Well, who should be there? Along with her is Amir Ohana. Knesset website was kind enough to publish his remarks on the subject.
Speaker of the Knesset, MK Amir Ohana. This is an impressive display of power and a direct message to the local leadership, which fuels in a despicable manner the fire of hatred in the city against Israel and the Jewish residents. You will not frighten us. The attempt to uproot our link to the region by lies and violence will not succeed, and will be met here and everywhere with a powerful and unified Zionist fist.
Amazing. And you know what? He's gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I'm just pointing that out. Amir Ohana
Zionist fist.
is gay.
Yeah.
But in support of that powerful Zionist fist, that powerful and unified Zionist fist, was our Democrat goat, Chuck Schumer. Mm-hmm. We had Letitia James there, Governor Kathy Hochul, and former mayors Bloomberg and Adams. But surely they wouldn't approve of MK Ohana, or even Israel's openly Kahanist finance minister, Smotrich. Surely, though, they would approve of opposition MKs who did march in New York. We find them, too, on the Knesset website.
MK Ben-Ari, coordinator of the opposition. There are political debates between the coalition and opposition, and sometimes also profound differences of opinion. But when facing the world, we have a shared responsibility to stand together, to strengthen the relationship with diaspora Jewry, and to show that Israel is the national home of the entire Jewish people.
So, okay, there was a lot of negative publicity about Smotrich being there, right? About him marching the parade. About some of these Likud people being there. Actually, it all focused on Smotrich, even though there's basically zero daylight between him and most of the other MKs in Israel. But Ben-Ari, we're with her, right?
Yeah.
We love her. She's opposition. She's going to be in the government someday. That's why we march, right? Because Israel is not just Netanyahu. Israel is also the several opposition parties that basically have these same politics as Benjamin Netanyahu.
That's facts.
MK Ben-Ari, our opposition here, who we do support.
Yeah.
She's mostly known, of course, for having claimed in the Knesset that the children of Gaza have brought this on themselves. But in the spirit of friendship between our two proud nations, we believe she must have meant something else. Perhaps that was taken out of context. I did look at the full remarks from that session. The context is actually worse if you read it, but surely in her heart of hearts, she would not have said something so disgusting. And in this spirit of largesse, we must talk about Education Minister Yoav Kish, who is also at the party. Okay, yes, Kish is under investigation by the police for corruption. Doesn't mean he can't go to a birthday party. He is working hand in hand with one of his buddies, Mordecai David. We talked about him a little bit earlier, but Mordecai, this is how sort of the kind of amazing civil society government works hand in hand in Israel, took a photo of a woman at a protest that was against the war. Turns out that this woman was a math teacher. It's a very long story, but it turns out later that she had posted this.
400 people who went to get a slice of bread for their families and were shot by our heroic soldiers. 400 people who joined another 50,000 who were killed by the fire of the Israel Annihilation Forces. There is no way to escape the atrocities, which are taken straight from the history of the Jewish people, but this time are being perpetrated by the Jewish people, which has become the greatest oppressor, full-scale Judeo-Nazi.
There's a horrible anti-Semitic lady here, this teacher in Israel. So David posted her photo on all of his social media. It went viral among Israelis. The picture went straight to the top to Kish, the education minister, and he was furious. 3 days later, the woman was brought before her superiors. She stood by her post, claiming she did it because she loved Israel and loved the IDF. Well, we'll give her a little bit of leeway there. Maybe she was making one of those points that people try to make sometimes. She is brought up again and again on charges, part of Yoav Kish's pattern. Dozens of school officials deemed to be anti-national have been fired or disciplined. Now, I'm not here to defend the sanctity of every Israeli teacher out there, but it becomes quite clear that Israel, there's multiple laws about denying the October 7th atrocities, for instance. Like there's a lot of speech restrictions about what you can say about the IDF or these wars or things like this. And it gets to the point when I don't know if the gay pride marches in Tel Aviv, they aren't even really trotting those out anymore, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if this stuff is really working on me anymore. I started this episode out just finding out about Zionism, and I'm getting a little nervous about it.
They used to tell you about the vegan leather in the IDF soldiers' boots.
They're vegan leather boots?
They can get those because they got women, and the jets are pink sometimes.
That's
as I
awesome.
recall, pink jets and the
Could
vegan
you
boots.
imagine how taken care of you must feel if you're like Palestinian guy who got abducted off the street, stripped naked, bound, and then put in the rubble of Gaza, paraded around, had your picture taken, put on social media, and then was tortured at an Israeli prison. And the boot that's kicking you in the face, you're like, oh, vegan leather. Huh.
It's like
Pretty accommodating.
when I picture the future of humanity, it's a vegan boot stamping on a human face forever.
Yes. And you know, but this doesn't represent Israel, right? I mean, this surely can't represent Israel. This is just a party with multiple prominent members of the administration and with seemingly like the leadership of a lot of the national police and the army head and these kind of people. But like, it's not representative of Israel. And surely it's just a birthday party, right?
Yeah.
Just a birthday party. This is from Haaretz.
During the celebration, Ben-Gvir's wife, Ayala, presented him with a cake featuring a golden noose and the words, "Sometimes dreams come true." He also wore a pin depicting a noose, as his party advanced a bill proposing the death penalty exclusively for Palestinian terrorism convicts, which was passed into law late last month.
Just do yourself a favor right now, if you haven't seen it, especially if you're driving, Google Ben-Gvir birthday cake. Because it's not just a noose. It's a multi-layered cake. Hungry guy.
Yeah.
And there's actually a couple Glocks on there too, because he made it easier to carry guns.
Okay.
To shoot Palestinians with.
Right.
That law referenced there is the law about death by hanging for those involved in violent attacks that, quote, negate the state of Israel. It is widely, and I mean widely, understood to only apply to Palestinians, most of whom are put through military courts that have a 99% conviction rate. It grants complete immunity to those carrying out the executions, and those condemned cannot be pardoned. But such laws cannot be passed retroactively. So what of the fate of those endless prisoners, many locked up on with no evidence that they've done anything, languishing in Israeli prisons for, quote, October 7th related crimes? This is from the Death Penalty Information Center website.
On May 11th, 2026, lawmakers in Israel passed legislation by a vote of 93-0, creating a special tribunal within the military justice system with the authority to impose the death penalty on Palestinians convicted of involvement in the October 7th, 2023 attacks. The legislation provides that proceedings will be conducted in Jerusalem with a publicly available live stream. The new tribunal will have the authority to charge approximately 300 detained Palestinians accused of terrorism offenses under Israel's 1950 law on the prevention of genocide, which contemplates a death sentence as punishment. Several human rights groups have raised concerns with the new law, noting that the language of the new legislation makes imposing a death sentence too easy and removes procedural safeguards meant to protect the right to a fair trial. Appeals would be allowed under this legislation. However, they must be heard by a special appellate court. The bill also allows a panel of judges to impose death sentences by a majority, not a unanimous vote. Departing from the standard Israeli approach to criminal proceedings, which usually prohibits cameras in courtrooms, the new legislation expressly mandates that the filming and public broadcast of the key moments in these trials will be available on a specific website for the public to view.
I mean, surely, though, that doesn't represent Israel. 93-0, that's only 93 people who voted for it. Think about that, right? Just 93 people who voted for it. I mean, Israel's got, what, a population of 7 million, 8 million people? You know?
Yeah.
Is this apartheid to you? No, there's Arabs. Look, there's some Arabs in the government. There's some Bedouins who have minor roles in the government. We let that like small left-wing list party, you know, have be in the Knesset, right? I mean, it's ridiculous how we have to talk about this shit. And the more restrictions that they've put on people over the years, I think it's gotten to a sort of ridiculous point where you see a lot of like people complain, oh, there's this vulgar anti-Semitism that's prevalent a lot of places. And the fact is, yes, there is. I'm not like complaining about it. I'm not saying, oh no, I'm under assault here. But like the way you see a lot of people talking is in a let's say vulgarized anti-Semitic way, right? Yeah. What the fuck did you expect was going to happen from this, right? I mean, you were acting like a vulgar caricature of a nightmare Jew. You know, I mean, these people are, I don't even know what words I can have to describe. We're going to televise these trials. and we're going to have these people hanged, and we're going to make birthday cakes with the fucking noose on it. And every person at my stupid fucking 50th birthday party will be some fucking criminal who has been given law enforcement responsibility in Israel, who is able to oversee the Israeli prison system. There isn't another Israel. There's not a backup Israel that we're missing. There's not a emergency democratic liberal Israel that is surrounded by these these autocracies, these Muslims, these people who are ready to kill. And it's just fucking, it's so ridiculous to me. I mean, it's just it's offensive.
Yeah.
and I mean, a website that is going to broadcast the trials of these people we made a law that the death penalty can retroactively apply to. We can watch what? Fucking compilations of these people being condemned to death with no hope of appeal in a military court with 99% conviction rates, with limited access to lawyers of any kind, with even when there are lawyers of any kind. I mean, there was just that investigation where Israeli lawyers said that when he went to visit his Palestinian clients, they told him to stop visiting because every time he visited them, they were raped by the guards prior to that.
Jesus.
I mean, what system, what, at a certain point, you have to imagine Jessica Tisch, Grand Marshal of the fucking Israel Day Parade. What Israel is she marching for? Is there some other Israel that exists that I haven't heard about yet? Yeah, I don't know. This is the Israel that I've seen my entire life. This is the Israel I read about in the news. This is the Israel that elects its government over and over and over and over again. This is the Israel that Mark Levin defends, that Donald Trump went to war with Iran to protect, that we're probably Israel is gonna try to provoke another one so that we do it again to protect. I mean, it's no wonder that people are like, fuck the Jews at this point. Because I gotta tell you, I don't know, maybe it's some 4D chess. They want them to do that because as the opposition, MK can say, oh, but you can all come here. You can all come here. Mm-hmm. And what, be part of your fucking rape gang? No, thank you. It is just, it's so crazy to me. And this, it's I don't know. I mean.
But think of all the fabulous psytrance and other culture that they're creating. I
mean, what a crazy culture. And this isn't one thing that does piss me off is when people let America off the hook with this shit. Because we do the same shit that Israel does, but we just literally, because of our geography, don't have to deal with it, right? Yeah. I mean, when we bomb that double tap that girls' school in Iran, it doesn't matter. Like, that's why I've tried to sort of do these episodes. Like, actually, it's not why I've tried to do these episodes like this. I've just been forced to by circumstance. But like when talking about the war in Iran, the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran, I've sort of forced to like deal with it in this almost hallucinatory way because that's like, not hallucinatory, but like this almost like non-linear kind of way because that's how we experience it. These disembodied things that you really only care about if you want to, right? Like that's the thing is Americans don't have to care about shit if they don't want to, and most of them don't, And I like Americans. I try to love everybody in the world. I like a lot of Americans, but you can just ignore it or you can joke about it. You can pretend like, oh, it's awesome, dude. When Trump had the fucking F-16s or whatever, the F fucking planes at the fucking White House fly over the UFC event, it was fucking awesome. America's back. Back to doing what? At a certain level, I mean, these people are only going to understand when it affects them. And part of the whole setup of this government is that it won't. Is that your kid will never come home in a body bag because somebody else's kid will, or they probably won't because now it's all drones. You know what I mean? It's just it's crazy. It's like we're at war with everybody all the time, and most Americans just say it doesn't exist, it doesn't matter. And if you care about it, it's like something that like. You're weird for caring about it.
Yeah, you're a nerd for it.
Exactly, you're a nerd for it. You're a bitch, or like you don't, it's.
You don't like winning.
It's the omni cause.
Yeah, it's
the omni cause. Yeah, you don't like fucking winning. It's like, and I maybe have a little more. I'm not a pacifist. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy who likes violence at all. But I'm not a pacifist. When American military is concerned, you could call me one maybe. But the violence that people sort of so casually shrug off or delight in, or it's just a fucking meme. I mean, it's just so desensitized. Writing some of this stuff reminded me of the episode we just did with Ali of like this desensitization.
Yeah.
And like there is this acute desensitization from certain young people who are enmeshed in these certain internet communities. But I would say for many people, it's just part and parcel of it. Like it's the air we breathe. It's the water we swim in. You know what I mean? It's just like this shit's happening to some other fucking person. I want to find whatever Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, whatever fucking captive dreamer, stupid fucking asshole that agrees with me and makes me be like, okay, well it's fine then. And if you care about it, like, yeah, you're a fucking libtard bitch or whatever. Well, you're going to hell.
Yeah.
Your soul is stained. And I believe that there's redemption for people, and I believe that people can change. I think that this is an unpopular thing to believe maybe on the left, although, of course, I'm not a man of the left. I'm a man of the center, the golden center. But I believe people can change. It's just that a lot of people that, especially we talk about the show, aren't particularly interested in it. Yeah, I don't know. Another week in paradise, huh?
Yeah, that was a cheerful one.
Yeah, I know. I wanted to add some more fun stuff in there, but really, I didn't have a lot of time to put this motherfucker together. So.
Well, we all have fun in our own ways.
And I tried to use Israeli sources too. You know what I mean? I'm an open-minded guy.
Yeah.
Let's go Haaretz, Times of Israel. Let's do it. Channel 12. It's just, God, man. I mean, you know, it one must think like, you know, there's some Israelis who are probably like, what, like, who are cognizant of this, you know, because they're like us in that it's the air that they breathe and the water that they swim in. Right. And so a lot of it, like people ask like, oh, how come there's no like Israelis doing this or this or this? I mean, there's, I think, a lot of answers to that. None of them very good. But I think it's the same reason that you see so many Americans who are just like, yeah, this is good. But then you, of course, you know, you have the South African example where a lot of people were traitors. And which I mean is a good thing. I don't know. It's something's got to give.
Yeah.
Something's got to give. But I always say that. But then actually something doesn't have to give.
Well, it depends on your time scale, I guess.
Yeah. But I think there is on every side of the political spectrum. Like everyone always is like, there's like a millenarian sort of wishful thinking that people do. Like this won't, from like late capitalism.
Yeah, communism is inevitable.
Yeah. It's not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not, and neither is the day of the rope or the fucking, you know, based right wing, whatever. Like nothing's inevitable, except history. You know?
Death and taxes.
Yeah.
Birthdays.
Well, no, taxes, maybe not.
Yeah.
But we pay them here.
Yeah.
We do pay them here.
I pay more than they ask.
Yeah, I tip.
Give them a little walk
You know
around
what I'm
money.
saying? Yeah.
This,
you know what?
this for Israel.
You know, yeah. Hey,
Get 'em
earmark
something
this
nice.
for Israel.
Yeah.
Earmark this for Israel.
And then earmark a little extra, you know, you're going to do that anyway, but.
Yeah. Earmark this for Israel. Earmark this for charter schools. Earmark this for TSA. I want this all to go to TSA. It's just, my God. I mean, aren't people sick of this?
I
Living
sure
in this
am.
crazy world?
Yeah.
Don't you just want a world that makes sense and where people are, I don't know, don't act like fucking animals? But one day we'll all be as, I mean, the Jelly Roll thing fucked me, man. Because that was, to me, he was big for me, you know?
Well, now he's less big.
Well, because I spent, he's less big, but yeah, true. But it's like, because he was addicted to Percocets, I assume.
Yeah.
You know, I've been there and I'm like, man, I feel you. A white boy like me, everybody looked down on us since 2020.
Well, it's good, though, that attack was averted, because what would have been left of our culture, I think we need to have like a sort of continuity of government plan in place. So like Adam Friedland should be in a bunker somewhere in case we lose, you know, Rogan and Tony Hinchcliffe.
I would say Adam Friedland should be in another sort of sealed sort of chamber. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not saying this is, if I captured Adam.
Like with a camera?
No, with a camera.
Like you captured his.
No, like
visage?
if I like took him.
Okay.
You know, I would sort of if Law and Order breaks down a little more. Or at all, I guess it's like hasn't really broken down. But if Law and Order breaks down, if Tish is replaced, if I captured Adam,
That's what on the Purge. That's where you're going first. You're making a beeline for.
we live right next to each other. I would charge people to like. I would sort of make a geek, like a circus geek or something. But I would also, much like in the circus, abuse behind the scenes.
Yeah, there'd be like a hidden electrical prod.
I would just love him in chains. I don't care who puts him on. You know what I'm saying?
Adam and James.
Yeah. But we're talking about a different Adam.
Yeah.
You guys don't know him. We're talking about a different guy that we know in our personal lives. Anyways,
We're talking about the first man.
yeah. Wow. What did he look like, you think?
Jewish?
No.
I mean, I guess they didn't really have much of.
Don't eat the apple. Is it a green apple? Because those make me get my acid.
A lot of types of apples aren't any good. Anyway,
I know. And you go to the motherfucking farmer's market here in New York, that's all they got. Apples and turnips. Fuck that.
And it seems like every time I feel like I really inspect them, and then I get home and it's like, nope, this one's fucking bruised.
One fucking is. Oh, this is a sweet, delicious, golden, blooming. Yeah. Oh, this is a rare one you made. Guess what? Tastes like apple. Yeah. I don't give a fuck.
Fool me once.
East Coast people, you have to understand, or in in New York City especially, but it must be true in other places. Some of these farms are from out of town. Your shit sucks. Your greens suck. Your tomatoes fucking suck.
New Jersey tomatoes are classic.
Yeah, well, they're not making it up here. I'll tell you that. They ain't making it to Brooklyn then.
There's tomatoes can be very good, but the ones you usually get are like not a fine exemplar.
Quite bad.
Yeah.
Quite bad often. Anyways, enough about that.
This is produce talk.
This is a little add-on for the end of the episode. We're talking about produce. But a lot of produce is quite lousy in this town. And it's ridiculous. And I've asked the experts. I know people who work in fancy restaurants. I know people who are cooks, all this kind of stuff. And I say, where do you get your produce? They say, from the same dumps you get it from. Yeah. Same horrible fucking bad fucking lettuce places you get it from. And I say, okay, what's the point? And they say, I don't know.
Yeah, somebody should do something.
Somebody should do something. Actually, we should have what is it called? Hope Punk.
Okay.
We should have a Hope Punk garden on our roof. We all come together.
Urban farming.
Is that shit? Is all those like Hope Punk kind of things, like that shit's just for people who like are pretty close to killing themselves from depression?
Yeah, I'm not really tapped into that scene.
Me either, but I see it on the internet sometimes. I'm like, ooh, man, like it's something. Whenever like people are really fawning over something that's really happy on the internet, I'm like, ooh, this depression is big.
Yeah.
I do have another thing I want to mention though.
What's that?
The amount of fanfare that the film Obsession has gotten.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen it?
I haven't seen the film.
There's 0 point.
You saw it?
Yeah.
Why? Why are you always going to these movies that you
I'll tell you exactly why. I'll tell you exactly why. It's because Sarah is always like, do you want to go to the movies?
Really?
Yeah.
Sarah was like, go see Obsession with me.
That is literally what happened, yes.
Because this will cure you of your misogyny.
It was a hot night. She didn't say this will cure you of your I'm a misogynist?
I don't know. That's kind of like it's about a guy who's...
No, it's not. It's not about anything, really. It would have been awesome if it was like a fully I mean this, I don't feel this way, but if it had like been like a fully misogynist, like anti-BPD horror movie, that would have been pretty interesting. Okay. It's just like a whatever horror movie. It's like some shit you'd see on YouTube Shorts.
They got these kids doing these movies now.
But the way that people talk about it, like it's like,
and it's made a crazy amount of money.
No, but I've noticed this because I see this shit online, and the way that people talk about media that has basically zero subtext as like this thing to decipher and unlock.
Yeah.
Is so bizarre to me, and I'm like, damn, it's like very young people talking about.
Well, it's like you're writing your Letterboxd review, and you want to go viral for your fucking
Letterboxd mentality is crazy. That is a website I will
never be on that website.
That is so not. And if you are, God bless you.
Yeah,
but
I like
he
movies.
Will need to bless you because you will be seeing him soon.
Yeah, I'm not typing paragraphs about I'll tell you that the movie
I don't
was
think they
good.
type paragraphs. I think they type like two lines that are like
That's
funny.
like when they're trying to be pithy because you want to get screenshotted.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't participate in that
It's
economy.
a culture that
thank
is
God.
so foreign to me
Yeah.
that it makes me xenophobic. It is just so great. But Obsession is just, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's actually really bad at the beginning. It's like it was almost left. A group of us almost left the movie theater at the beginning.
We just did this 90 minutes about Israel, and these last few minutes about Letterboxd and Obsession are going to get everyone angry.
Well, we're complaining.
Yeah.
And so we're saying, we told you the bad side of the Jews. Now we're showing you the good side.
That's true.
Which is complaining about food and movies.
Yeah. It's such small portions.
But I was like, until the bitch went crazy, I was like, we gotta go. And it wasn't just me saying this. Every woman that was there was like, we gotta go.
But people can't stop going to it.
They can't stop going to it. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. You know what I mean? It's fine. It's like, I would give it a 4.5 out of 10.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's fine. Well, that's it. You're using the full.
I'm using the full.
Scale.
I use the full
None of the
scale. I use
inflation,
the full
yeah.
scale. I don't do this great
So
inflation.
4.5 out of 10 is fine.
It's a little below
Average.
average.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But like, it was just like kind of stupid.
I haven't been to the movies in a minute.
Really?
I think the last thing I saw was Blue Heron.
What's that?
That was good with Amy Zimmer.
Oh, yeah. I didn't see it.
It was lovely, contemplative, Canadian. The Canadians were having a good run. The independent Canadian cinema.
Oh, I want to give a fuck you to somebody right now.
Okay.
A big one to John Early, who told me he'd get back to me about coming on the show this week. And now his phone, by the way, this is how you can tell the guy's big shot now.
Yeah.
Now the phone's always on Do Not Disturb. 2 p.m.
He's busy.
I'm going to text this guy back, Do Not Disturb.
I see the photo shoots he's doing. I see how he's styled in the photo shoots, and it's a little bit different than he used to be, and he looks good.
Interesting. He dyed the hair black?
Yeah, and he's got all kinds of facial jewelry now.
Okay. He's got a septum piercing. But I will say this. Maddie's Secret I really liked.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's very good. Other movies, but movies, we don't love them so much here, do we? Do you watch movies at home by yourself?
I think about doing it, and then I don't do it because I'm like, this is going to take too long. You know,
It's going to take too long.
Yeah, and then I spend the time longer than I would have spent watching the movie doing something, scrolling or doing something stupid.
Yeah.
But I like movies, and I have a good setup to watch movies at home. I haven't watched a movie at home in a while.
Yeah. I'm thinking I'm doing Lawrence of Arabia maybe tonight
I've never seen it,
because I got to go to bed early.
so that's going to help you go to bed early.
It's just going to put me in the mood.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's going to put me, it's long,
Yeah,
feel like,
but you've seen it before or no?
yeah, I've seen it before. Yeah.
I hear
Quite
it's
a
good.
long, you've never seen it?
I haven't.
Oh, we love Lawrence of Arabia.
Yeah.
We love it. I love really long movies because I'm like, if I'm in for a pound, I'm in for a penny.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen Dune. It's kind of a Lawrence of Arabia.
What's it? No, it's not. You haven't seen Lawrence of Arabia. How'd you know it's
Well,
like
I
Lawrence
hear
of
that Dune
Arabia?
is kind of like a Lawrence of
Where'd
Arabia.
you hear it from?
Letterboxd.
Oh, that's the pithy one sentence review.
Yeah.
Timothée Chalamet. Final thing of the day.
Yeah.
We reversed our opinion in order to. So obviously, we're trying to get Liz back by making the worst podcast in the world.
Okay.
But I did try to get her back by saying that I loved Timothée Chalamet now. Because now that she's off, she's a Chalamet hater. The Calciad made it tough. But you know what? I'm betting on the kid.
The Calciad made it tough to like him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm betting on him. You know what I'm saying? I'm betting on his career. I bet he'll keep getting parts. I bet that eventually he'll get some kind of crazy award. I bet that he'll still be being fucking Timmy.
That
you know
seems
what I'm
like
saying?
a pretty safe bet.
Yeah.
Give that good odds.
Oh, I saw Marty Supreme on the plane.
Okay. Interesting. And
It was good.
yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I met Josh.
What's the game
Softy.
they're playing the
I
whole
took
time?
his picture. Ping pong?
Is that for the movie?
Table tennis? Yeah, I think they do that a lot over in the East.
Oh, it's like chopsticks.
Yes. Yeah, our hands aren't really built for it.
Yeah, we've got way bigger courts.
They dress
here.
cool in that movie. in Marty Supreme.
I'm thinking things about you right now that you're not gonna.
I mean,
like.
I'm wearing a double-breasted suit right now.
Pause on that. I got
On
one big
double-breasted?
titty. I got one big one.
Okay.
All right, we gotta end this. My name is Brace.
I'm producer Young Chomsky.
I'm Liz, and this has been TrueAnon. We will see you next time. Bye-bye.
Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein.